Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello, my name is Jen, aka A Sea of Reads, and if you're not new here, hey bestie, how's it going? I'm so glad you can make it. I'm so glad you all can make it because I am very excited for this week's video. So I got this video idea from Lottie, so huge shout out to her because I felt that this was so genius and I knew I needed to try it for myself. And that is letting the temperatures high choose how many pages I read for the week. For example, if it is 90 degrees outside Fahrenheit, because I am American, if it is 90 degrees Fahrenheit outside, I will read 90 pages. And I am starting this on a Monday, and I am currently pet sitting, so I will be at another house all this week. So I think this is going to be super fun. I'm pet sitting two cute little cats. Their names are Sushi and Miso. Miso and Sushi. I love them. I just looked as well, and today's high is 83 degrees. So I will be reading 83 pages. The first book I will be reading for today's video is Discontent by Beatrice Serrano. I think this will be a perfect start. I found this in a little free library and it's in fantastic condition and it's very short, so I think I'll be able to get through it within 2 days. I don't actually know the specifics of what it's about, but on here it says, on the surface, Maurice's life looks enviable, I think is how you pronounce that. She lives in a beautiful apartment in the center of Madrid. She has a hot neighbor who is always around to sleep with her, and she's been through the ranks at a successful advertising agency. And yet she's drowning in a dark hole of existential dread induced by the banality of corporate life. I kind of want to go into it with only that knowledge. Miso is currently messing with the tripod. What was I saying? So without further ado, let's get started on these 83 pages. I think it will be a breeze. The one thing I am allowing myself to do with this challenge, and that's just because I'm the type of person that doesn't like to stop in the middle of a chapter. So if said pages stops in the middle of the chapter, I'm reading 83 pages today, I can see already that it stops in the middle of the chapter. I'm going to be able to finish that chapter, but I can't read more than that. Which I don't think will be hard because I usually read between 50 to 100 pages a day, and I think the high for most of this week is in the 80s and 90s, so I don't think it'll be that difficult, but I am giving myself that grace because I'm so sorry guys, I have to finish the chapter. I have to finish it. So without further ado, let's go get through these 83 plus pages. Besties, I did get to chapter 7 of Discontent while reading outside, which completed my 83 pages for today. And honestly, I feel like I'll have so much more to say when I finish it. I feel like everything that I have to say now will just be repeated if I don't save it till the end. It's just really short, so it's hard for me to give that 50% chicken, but just know that I am really enjoying this. This really is a workplace satire, and we follow Marissa, who just hates her life, hates her job, and she is just so distraught over the fact that she is going to have to work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week for the rest of her life, and she can't come to terms with that. I mean, who can really? This was actually translated from Spanish to English, and I think that's really cool. I'm really enjoying this, and I'm very excited to finish it. I'm actually in such a reading mood that I want to finish it now. I will definitely wait because I have other hobbies that I can definitely do tonight, but I want to finish it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like so invested. I'm so connected. I'm so there. Hello from me and Sushi. It is currently the next day. I already looked up the weather and it is a high of 92 degrees today, which means I have 92 pages to read for today. I'm very excited. When I finished it yesterday, all I wanted to do was continue it, so I was so invested. I definitely think I'm going to finish this and love it, at least hopefully. Let's get into it. Let's go finish this book, baby. Later, and I did just finish Discontent. I loved this. I really did. I thought it was so thought-provoking. I related to Marissa so much. Like some things that she said and did, a little unhinged, but the idea I relate to a lot. I don't know if I've talked about it yet, but we follow Marissa, who works at an ad agency, and she absolutely hates it, hates her life, hates the idea of having a 40-hour-a-week job. When I went into this, I thought it would be like a workplace satire about life in corporate America. And while it's not set in America, it's set in Madrid. It is definitely still a workplace satire about working in corporate, working a 9 to 5. And there was a specific line and paragraph in this that really spoke to me, and I want to read it out loud. It really is discussing how she has talked to her doctor and her therapist about how anxious and depressed she is, and they don't quite understand that the stress isn't necessarily coming from her job. It's coming from the idea that we are forced to be in a society where we work our lives away, where we work 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week, and barely have any freedom, that we live at our jobs more than we even live at home. And that's such a hard reality to come to terms with. And the line is, spending 8 hours from Monday to Friday on alienating and unsatisfying tasks, surrounded by people with whom I was forced to have futile and boring conversations full of absurd platitudes about mortgages or parking spaces or the words their children said wrong or the last series they'd watched on Netflix. All that time I was giving to others instead of staying at home reading or drawing or simply looking at the ceiling half naked, observing the cracks. I couldn't stand the idea of being forced to live that office pantomime in perpetuity just to pay for things like rent or food or a book or a weekend at the beach. I broke down every weekend when the alarm beeped because life, lived this way, seemed like a badly written tragedy, boring and sterile, devoid of fun, and even worse, devoid of content. And so, on my way to work, I felt like grabbing strangers by the shoulders and asking them why they weren't feeling like me. What was their secret? Why did they manage to maintain their composure? Why didn't they cry every time their alarms beeped? And the truth is that before going to the doctor and the therapist, I already knew what my problem was. And also that unless I won the lottery or cut off my hand so I could receive a state pension instead of working, my situation was hopeless. That was in the first 20 pages, and it pretty much just describes the entirety of the book. Like, why are we forced to live in a system where we have to work our lives away? That is completely unfair when we as humans, we're meant to frolic. We're meant to do our hobbies. We're meant to have fun. And this is the world we're brought into? Like, what? Anyways, I genuinely got a lot out of this. I really love this. It's very short. It's a little snack, and you could truly read it in one sitting. And I definitely would have had I not been doing this challenge, because I remember finishing it yesterday and I was like, I just want to continue it. But I held off. Hi, Sushi. I really enjoy this. I loved it so much. I think. Hi, Papa. I should really get off of here and go play with him. So I'm going to be done for now, but I will see you tomorrow with the next read. But I did really enjoy this. Hey, what's up? Hello. It is currently Wednesday. And if you see me wearing the same shirt as Monday, no, you didn't. I don't know what you're talking about. It's clean, I promise. I'm very excited for today because the temperature's high is 96 degrees, which means we are going to be reading 96 pages. And the reason I'm excited is because we get to start a new book today. The book I chose is none other than Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I have heard so many people rave about this book. This actually won the Lolly last year from Book of the Month, and it's so gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. And what I think is super cool is that it came with this bookmark that you can actually plant, because the story, if you don't know what it's about, this takes place on an island off the coast of Antarctica, and a woman named Rowan washes up ashore, and it's just this family that lives there, and they protect this seed bank. So it does revolve around a seed bank, and you can actually plant it, and it says, from seed bank to seed planting, which is so cute. Will I ever plant it? No, because I don't have a green thumb. Like, every plant that I've ever had has died, and I'm also allergic to a lot of plants and a lot of things revolving nature. Like, I'm allergic to grass and different types of flowers, trees, allergic to it all. So unfortunately, I probably can't even plant this even if I wanted to, but I like to keep it as a little keepsake. I think it's really cool. So without further ado, let's go read 96 pages of Wild Dark Shore. besties. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's Friday. Truly my bad. I just have had a rough couple days mental health wise, and because of that, I didn't film at all yesterday. But because I really still want to finish this little challenge, I'm just gonna do Friday and Saturday and end on Saturday instead of Friday. I did end up finishing the 96 pages from Wednesday. I don't know if any of that makes sense, but I'm glad you're still here. And can I just say, I am really loving this so far. Are we surprised? I don't think so, because I went into this with very high expectations and it's not disappointing me so far. And I know I kind of briefly discussed what this is about, but this does follow a family who is on an island off the coast of Antarctica, and they're there to protect this seed bank. And they're living in total isolation. And one day, a mysterious woman washes up ashore, and we get the perspectives of all the different family members as well as the woman. And the family is suspicious of the woman, and the woman is suspicious of the family, but they take her in nonetheless and make sure that she's alright and make sure that she survives. This also has a very compelling mystery that is starting to unravel and is very interesting. I need to know what happens. I'm genuinely so sad I didn't read yesterday because I am so invested. I can't wait to start the reading for today. The temperature is high for today is 91 degrees, which means I have to read at least 91 pages, which I think I did the math and that's around 187 pages. And I think if I remember correctly, it lands directly on a chapter. It does! Yay, that actually works out so perfect for me. And I forgot to say, because we get the perspectives of so many people, we get the entire family that is living on this island as well as the woman. I was getting a bit confused on whose point of view we were in and how they related to the family. So I did create this little family tree / character list with a couple of the supporting characters as well, at least the supporting characters that I've come to be introduced to so far. If you guys need a family tree to this, let me know, because it has been a little bit life-changing, I'm not gonna lie. And another thing I really love about this book is it's so atmospheric. I am genuinely looking up the seed banks in our Antarctica. I'm looking up where their island must be. I'm looking up what the coast of Antarctica looks like. And it is just, I feel like I'm there. And that is one of my favorite things ever when I'm reading. So I'm very excited to get back into this. Let's go read our 91 pages. Friends, it's been quite a few days. I did finish Wild Dark Shore. I genuinely came on with updates and then I went to edit and I looked at the footage and literally not a single sound was catching from my mic. So that's awesome. I did update. You will just never see the light of day. It was just complete silence. And I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no, no, no. Which means I just have to update you now that I finished the book, which makes me so sad because I genuinely kept coming on with updates and I have nothing. Anyway, I did rate the book 4.5 stars. I genuinely ate this up. This was incredible. The mystery element had me so hooked. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time, which is what I love when I'm reading. I was so invested. I was so in the world that I completely forgot I was reading, which is one of the best feelings I could ever have when it comes to reading. Of course, I have to say that the writing in this was spectacular. I could genuinely feel the love for the environment, for nature, for animals, for Earth radiating off the pages. Like I could feel Charlotte's deep rooted love for these things. And one thing I see a lot of people say about this book is that it's very slow paced, and it is a slow burn. That is for sure. This is something that you truly sit with, and it is slow, but it's intense and it's so good. Anyways, I can't express enough how great this book was, how important this book was, especially in regards to things like climate change and global warming. It really dives into environmentalism and the impact that these catastrophes can have on the world and the impact it is having and it's going to have. Absolutely incredible. And I wish I was able to update a little bit more. So I'm sorry about that. I love reading the pages of the weather outside. That was genuinely such a fun little challenge to do. And I had a great time. So thank you. If you made it to the end of this video, comment a wave emoji so I know who the real ones are who stayed till the end. I hope you guys have a lovely day. I hope you treat yourselves, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!